This the season to predict the Premier League. On Boxing Day, we have a Bruno Fernandes-less Manchester United taking on Newcastle in the battle of the underperformers. Both teams are in very poor form right now, but I think Newcastle slightly edged 2-1. Kickstarting our Saturday fixtures, Manchester City take on Nottingham Forest. I think City absolutely battered them. I just don't see anyone dealing with City right now in the Premier League. I think City win this comfortably 3-0. Next up, we have Fulham versus West Ham. West Ham are one of the worst teams in the league, especially on the defensive end. Fulham have finally found their goal scoring form. I think Fulham win this 3-1. Bournemouth have been disappointing after a strong start to the season, and they look to bounce back against a struggling Brentford. I think this game finishes 2-2. Liverpool have finally managed to put together a little streak, and they now come up against the worst team in the league. I think Liverpool win this game 3-0. Arsenal will be looking to head into the new year retaining their top spot, with both Manchester City and Aston Villa hot on their tails. However, I do think Brighton are a very tough fixture, and I think this game finishes in a 2-2 draw. Burnley versus Everton might seem like a boring fixture, but both teams will be looking at this as a chance to grab 3 points. I do think, however, Everton's defense will be a little too much for Burnley to handle, and Everton edge this game 2-1. In the fixture of the week, we have Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Villa will be looking to prove to everyone that they are actual title contenders and not just going through a purple patch. Chelsea, on the other hand, are trying to string together some form of consistency, and this will be a very good opportunity to do it. However, I think Aston Villa will be too much for them, and Villa wins this game 2-1. Another game that most people will consider to be boring is Sunderland versus Leeds, but again, I think both teams will look at this as 3 points that's up for grabs. Sunderland do have some players off at AFCON, and Leeds will be looking at this as an opportunity. With DCL in the form of his life right now, I think Leeds will feel comfortable going into this game, but for me, Sunderland just have too much as a team and as a unit. So I think Sunderland win this game 1-0. Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. Now, this could either be a very exciting game or it could be a very boring game, and it all depends on Tottenham. We know what Palace are going to do. We know they are going to set up defensively, and we know they are going to try to hit you on the counter. Spurs, on the other hand, if they put up a performance like they did against Liverpool when they went down to 10 and 9 men, then this is going to be a very interesting game. However, it's very hard to predict what version of Spurs you're going to get, and they are now without Xavi Simons and their captain and leader, one of their best defenders, Christian Romero. I think Palace gets the job done. I think they win this 3-1.